For those of you who'd like access to this content, follow the link in the description box, visit our Patreon page, and subscribe to the Black Kluge tier. For a mere $5 a month, you get access to the alternate Sunday episodes you've been missing, only available on Patreon, as well as the weekly Tuesday episodes. But wait, there's more. If you subscribe to the Black Kluge tier, you'll also get 2 weeks advance notice to our Thursday sessions. And if you needed any more incentive, when we have bonus episodes, Patreon is the place where you're going to find them. Also, don't forget to check out Teepublic for our great swag. The link is also in the aforementioned description.
And the producer of Howard's Porky's project telling Howard 100 News the script for the remake is ready to go. Dan Gross saying it's full speed ahead to make Howard Stern's Porky's this fall.
That's true. I watch that and I go, who the fuck would want to be I mean, Ryan Seacrest makes a lot of money. What does he want to be on New Year's Eve doing that dumb fucking show? But he loves that shit.
He loves to work.
Sure does. I don't. I'm looking to make the most amount of money I can with the least amount of hours.
With maybe one job.
Thank you.
And, listen, thank God she's growing up nice. She's not getting any of that awkward stage like that lispy kid.
Yeah, she doesn't look awkward. You're right.
I said to her, Millie, we can't tolerate you having some sort of awkward stage. You got to do a Brooke Shields and just be hot from the time you're a little girl to the time you're a woman.
So I wake up in the morning, I see Ralph's bedroom is empty. Artie, I realize Artie locks his door at night. I noticed you lucky. Do you have a thing? Because what I did was I tried to open the door to see if you were in there because I figured both you guys were gone, and then the door was locked.
I don't remember doing it. Maybe I did it out of habit. Yeah.
You lock yourself in at home?
He locked himself
not in the bedroom, but I might have. I was a little drunk myself. I might have locked the. I guess
like
I locked
the front door.
Well, good thing you did because I would have been in your room.
Right.
You're smart.
Who needs you in there?
Right.
Always lock your door at Howard's house.
Meanwhile,
Yes, Rob.
you have raised children in the age of the cell phone.
Yes, I have.
And you find that your kids like to text.
They do.
But do you ever text and not get an answer back?
Yeah, sure.
And how does
All
that
the
make
time.
you feel?
Well, I know they're glued to that thing 24/7.
Yeah.
Even Beth does that to me.
Uh-huh.
Like I write her and
She doesn't.
she doesn't answer. Like the one who was in the first Spider-Man where he played the villain. Your boyfriend.
Oh, my God. What a...
You saw him in a play.
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, I think he was naked in the play.
Willem Dafoe.
Didn't you see him in a play naked?
No.
Someone told me he was in a play once naked. And
well,
he's
I
got a
didn't see
huge cock.
I think she's some kind of an editor.
Yeah, Gail's Oprah's Ralph.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. All right.
But
she actually completes things.
yeah, she does.
She does.
No, my theory is, and hey, it's only a theory. I ain't saying anybody's a lesbo. I don't know. But I feel those two are in love with each other, and that they do each other, and that they have sex with each other, blown out lesbian sex.
So she really is his
They
Ralph.
travel together. You agree, right?
I totally agree.
And
I've always felt it.
I think if that is true, Oprah should come out of the closet.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm Phil Moore, your host as always, along with Raven. We're going to do a breakdown. How are you today, my dear?
Hi, Vilmore. Hi, QF World. Like Jay Santee, I am going to take on a pseudonym tonight. I'm going to be High Pitch Eric's Twat Cream. So, thanks, Jay. Thanks for all the great ideas. I caught myself in a drugstore, no lie, going up and down the aisles, and all of a sudden his voice pops into my head because it's the feminine product aisle.
Okay.
And, I saw some Vagisil or something, and I'm like, oh, my God, Twat Cream.
Well,
and I sent a picture, of course, to my brother and with the phrase because I had to get the poison out of my system.
Well, the problem is I shouldn't say problem. I suppose it's, just the idea that we've done so much Stern stuff. We have so many isms as well, like in terms of what we all say in terms of what we've heard from the show, bits like phony phone calls where to the point where if I hear someone say, I don't know, like, what's your problem? I'm always thinking Ronnie.
Yeah. Well, just all the music they've ruined for us, like the groove is in the heart. And oh my God, just
Baker Street.
Yeah.
Baba Booey. I'm always hearing Baba Booey song parodies now instead.
in the Beatles. I don't. The Beatles are not me. That's not. I respect people who like them. I'm not going to say anything bad, but I can pass on them. I have like 2 songs. Here Comes the Sun, and another sappy one that I like, but that's it.
Incidentally, Len just sent me about yesterday, I think. He sent me an Instagram sort of clip of James McCartney, which is McCartney's kid, and playing this song on a guitar he supposedly wrote called "Beautiful," and it's you know that this is Linda McCartney's kid because he's awful. And people were like, people were so vicious. They were either vicious, and the other 50% were like, leave him alone, whatever. I'm like, no, if you put it out there and you want people to listen, whatever, you got to be expecting a lot of, you got to be expecting flack. You got to be expecting praise. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, if autotune isn't at the ready for you, you got some issues sometimes.
Oh, it's awful. Anyway, we're going into April, back into time machine, guys. April 1st. This one is called Polo Pop Pop. This is the first clip.
All right.
No. I'm more, I'm a little uncomfortable with my new look.
Well, you got to show me these polo shirts.
Yeah.
Boy,
I'm not wearing it on the air, though. I still want to look like me. I don't need people goofing on me. I get enough of that. Everybody now on the internet has a voice. The worst nightmare. Yeah.
So go ahead. I love that clip.
You're so welcome. It's a pleasure sometimes to speak some truth out into the world.
Well, there's later on. There's going to be a clip that corresponds to this, and there's nothing wrong with a guy his age wearing fucking polo shirts. It's just the whole the bullshit rock and roll. This Varvatos gay Johnny Depp pirate with the scarves look that he's cultivated over the last however many years. Later on, Beth gets on and she'll talk a little bit about how she's the one responsible for clothing baby Nero.
Yeah, she's the new Ralph. She's going to dress him like a little jelly beaner doll. Yeah. And I had to get that one out. His neck, right? It's very skinny. I never really studied it until the past couple of years. I'm like, what's with the scarves, the excessive coats and hoodies? And I know he's anorexic. I get that. But I think Ralph had him layering because he's got such like a weird shaped head. When you take all that wig off the system and then you look at his shoulders and his hunch, it just accentuates like that bird neck that we're talking about all the time. Oh my God. Props to you for killing it on the new intro to the new intro. I love it. Almonds falling into a bowl. Pelicans.
I was almost going to make it all pelicans just to really hit the point home. But I thought, like literally, it's just pelican footage of pelicans swallowing birds and stuff. And then I thought people would be going, "Oh God, that's too cruel and stuff." But the thing was, I think it was years ago that maybe one of the first breakdowns we did, possibly, where we were talking something similar, but his appearance, and you said that the scarves and the stubble as well, not just and whatever clothing was meant to cover up either surgery scars, like plastic surgery scars, or the chin, not the chin implants, obviously, but definitely covering up the Adam's apple, which looks like someone lodged a brick in his throat. But the reconstruction surgery or the facelift or the hair implant things, maybe he's got scars at the back. Who knows?
It's a whole, Dr. Wittgenstein thing going on where he's just patched together with, whatever they could do to enhance his looks. I mean, I don't know. The hair is just so clownish. He's like Sideshow Bob of The Simpsons. I can't. Some days it is just, what is he doing? And he must have like 4 different lengths because we've seen it changes like 3 inches longer within a week. And I'm like, what? Yeah. He'll claim he pulls it out or whatever, or he hasn't washed it or something. It's a mess. I mean, between that and the guitar playing, which I've really limited, in case people are wondering, he will play something he recorded on his phone, probably on average, like once a show. Mm-hmm. And I gave you guys the basics. It hasn't changed much.
No.
He sounds like a 5-year-old at a school play or like a chorus or, some after school thing the kids are doing, putting together. Anyway, that I just thought I'd mention that because there's been him. He tried to play some Pearl Jam. He did Rockin' Robin. I don't know what I've played for you guys, but just know it's him being awful and a poser, and every now and then I'll throw some of those in there. There might even be some in this. I can't remember that far back.
Well, it's now that chess has like completely been tossed aside, like pasta into the trash. Then guitar's the next. He's going to go into that for a while, and then he'll get fed up with that because he'll realize I'm not good at this either. And the thing is, it does take practice. You need 15 minutes a day constantly, like just strumming, and then I've got a guitar. It's collecting dust. It's because I just don't feel. I'm almost thinking I'm too old. You're never too old. You can always learn this stuff, but you're better off learning it when you're younger. You got more dexterity in your fingers and stuff. When you get older, it's brutal.
Yeah, and look who we're talking about, King Veal. I mean, he's already had guitar injuries. So
yeah.
Anyway.
We'll leave we'll leave him for a side. We'll leave that one for a side and come back to the guitar anti-hero. We're gonna go with number 2. Robin wins the Battle of the Seniors. I love this one.
So remember that TV show with Joey King, which was so good, where she played Gypsy Rose Blanchard?
Yes.
Yeah. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was this kid who, like, her mom was such a fuckhead that I felt bad for her, so bad for her. Mom was one of those Van Munchausen by proxy women who wanted
Munchausen by proxy.
Whatever.
Van Munchausen. That was not a like what do you call it? Dyslexia slub or slip or something. That was him not knowing what the fuck he was talking about. He just sort of vaguely kind of knew.
Yeah, he's a lazy reader.
Yeah. And
his eyes are going. And they keep it so dark in his recording studio that, he's just setting himself up for failure.
Even in the I was amazed when he was in studio because now the video for the Biden interview is completely out on YouTube as far as I know. I haven't seen it yet, because I did want to give that the college try. But the lighting in that fucking studio, it looks like something out of Monster Chiller Horror Theater. I mean, we're gonna have to make a Count Floyd Photoshop if I can get one with decent resolution. It's black. It's all black. And then they've got violet lighting, but the violet lighting is just his covered up also with his name, like all the lettering covering up the lighting. So it's I guess especially designed to make it look like welcome to Transylvania. But
yeah, it's got like a Saturday afternoon horror theater horror movie feel to it. Boy, I butchered that.
Yeah, no worries. The next one is called Mama Quivers Don't Take No Mess. I sure changed that a little bit. Let's see.
I guess my mom was preparing me when she sucker punched me in the face. So
did your mom do that? She sucker punched you?
She was upset about something, and I was washing the dishes and chewing gum. And she thought I was mouthing off to her because my mouth was moving.
Oh, like you're mocking her.
I'm punched in the side of the head. And I was like, whoa.
And then
now, okay, that sounds like that doesn't sound like something she made up, actually, because if the way she described it was actually quite interesting. Basically, she was chewing with her mouth open because if that's what her mother thought she was going like like that. But if most people, I chew with my mouth closed. I don't know what the fuck she's just. Well, that just shows she's she was uncultured even then. But she was doing that, and if it did happen, I could see that someone a very dictatorial mother and very disciplinarian person doing that to their kid back in the day. Yeah, sure, certainly.
Yeah, that generation was not having any antics. So if they got even a whiff of you acting up, she's lucky she didn't get hit in the head with like a pot or something.
But
it just, I thought it was an interesting thing that, she would bring up, and it's rare that we get personal information like that. And then there's always is it real or is it a lie?
Certainly.
So
yeah,
that door never fully shuts.
That's right. The next one was the rejected gay Richard and Sal bit. And why it was rejected is a whole other matter, guys. Here we go.
Listen, is this funny? It's funny. I would pay $100 to watch it. When Jason told me this, after I stopped laughing as hard as I could laugh, I was like, what are we doing? Because to get this right, so Richard's butt naked, right? On a piece of plastic, all oiled up on his stomach, and then you get naked and oil up and you ride him on top. I'm just, please.
Well,
I want to see that so
It's
bad.
funny.
He doesn't ride it.
Naked. I'll rub against you, Gary.
He massages. He massages Richard by using his entire nude body. That's all.
That's the best.
Oh,
I'm just like Bowie's pitching this a little too hard, and not, I guess, pitching. He's cheerleading it
Pumping,
too hard.
hyping.
Yeah. And they don't, as far as I know, what was the last thing that they did that you can recall? It was for Cocktober, I guess. The last something.
Let's see. They didn't do anything this past October, but they did something, I think, in November. Or was it later this year? Well, there was the whole Richard, is it sausage or a penis?
Oh, yes, okay. But he sort of toned it down compared to previous years.
Yeah, the other year it was like they were golfing with their dicks.
Yes.
And the hole was Richard's ass. So like there was like a golf club hanging off of Sal's pouch.
What a fucking think tank.
Oh my God. Look, 73.
Did you ever think that sentence would come out of your mouth at some point in your life?
God, I hope my kids upstairs don't hear me sometimes. I really am so glad nobody I know listens to this, because nobody I know is in the Howard world. Even my brother doesn't listen to this because he's just like, he can barely get through a show.
Well, the next one, guys, is called Ralph Was a Pack Rat of What exactly?
Well, I feel like I'm a better friend to Ralph now that he's dead than when he was alive. Actually, I keep his memory alive in my head, so I'm doing a good job of being a good friend. There you go.
What does that even mean? I keep his memory alive in my head?
All I know is sometimes a caller will bring up Ralph.
Sure.
And he'll respond with like a non sequitur like this, kind of like, I'm a better friend when he's dead than alive. So you were really shitty when he was alive.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, yeah. I seriously, I stand by Ralph overdosed or something. Yeah. Ralph overdosed or something was tainted, whatever. But that I maintain he was a drug addict his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Wiggy separated himself from him at a point later on.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, if he was in that way, like if he was pulling an Artie, let's say he was medicating himself regularly, and Howard said you can't do that or whatever. If he saw that, or if he knew that, or if someone explained to him, no, that guy's fucked up, and you got to talk to him about something, because you can't trust anybody who's like that. You never know, like what are they going to do if they're desperate, if they're fucked up, whatever. If something happens, they won't open. Who knows what they'll say around certain people when they're messed up. And so you're right. Someone must have sat him down and said, or even Beth, whoever it was, because there's not many people around him, and said, you got to distance yourself from this guy. Or even like a Marcy type person saying this is a bad look.
Well, he was a high risk person. For somebody who did nothing. He had plenty of time for all that. He had just enough money that Howard would supply him with.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I will continue to piss on his grave. And I am so glad. There was nothing at all close to good about that man. No, I'm sorry for his family, but like, I actually, that was a good moment this year, I think, in the world. And yeah, fuck you, Ralph. I'm glad you're gone. And now when I hear your stupid laugh on the old replays, okay, I get it. That's whatever. You're a shit. You're a fucking shit. And you always have been. You always will. You never showed any redemptive qualities. So why should I say anything nice about you? Good Lord, you'd tear my ass apart up and down with that laser if you saw me.
Well, yeah,
So, no,
I mean, yeah, this is
fuck
there's
that.
any number of reasons to hate him, and there's very few reasons to love the guy. And the one time we were sort of, I wouldn't say positive about Ralph, but I guess it was more to illustrate Howard's inhumanity than it was to illustrate how good Ralph was when Bob Saget passed away. Ralph called in and he was all choking up. So that's because of what he did. He helped him with his sister's. She had scleroderma as well, or still does. I don't know. And Bob helped, like literally reached out and said, "Here, I know someone. Here's a doctor." Blah blah blah. And Ralph was all like emotional about it. And it's just, all that showed you was he has actual feelings as opposed to Howard, who feels nothing.
Well, for his sister.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like that was
his sister.
That was
Adopted
a bit of
sister. Yeah.
That was a bit of humanity that, some people probably remember. Who knows? I mean, I do remember that thing, but it doesn't wash away all the other awful things that Ralph did over the years.
No, it's like the conversation we always have. Like, if an artist does something really, really bad,
yeah,
but they made some good music, are you still going to listen to that music, or are you going to, is it tainted forever? Yeah. And I'm sorry, but the body of work that Ralph put out as an artist, as a semi-quasi-human.
Yeah.
No, you burn in hell, motherfucker. I don't ever want you back on this planet. We don't need you. You did enough damage. Okay.
Not to make it such a downer, guys, but because this is the parallel that I'm thinking of, and it's just the first thing on my mind because I've been trying to go through my notes again and my clips and trying to make audio bits of it because it's a long-term project. Was the Matthew Perry book, the audio book, and the ebook, whatever, about his bullshit recovery when he was fucked up the whole time making it, and fucked up even in the recording sessions for his own narration.
Right. I remember this. Yeah.
And he this was a piece of shit. Like, he really was an asshole. Whether or not there was a good person in there, you'll never really know, because the way he decided, this is how my book's coming out. I want it this way. And not only that, I'm going to narrate my own book. Because that's the move of an egomaniac. Most people know they shouldn't be narrating their own book unless they think it's going to make them help them sell more. Now, maybe that was a possibility, but I don't think so. And that guy, like, everybody that had things to say about him, it was mostly negative. Even the Friends cast, there's a clip of Jennifer Aniston being filmed as she's going into some gala or some, opening night of something and red carpet type thing. And she goes, How do you think fans should remember Matthew Perry, or how do you think they should keep his memory alive? And she goes, they should remember him. And she walks away. That's it. Like, there was no love lost there. So when I saw that James Corden hosted reunion thing, and you sent me the initial clip because you found it on Instagram or whatever, TikTok. Then I downloaded that whole fucking thing and I looked through the parts where he's in it, and it's clear that they all wanted it to make like, okay, they're all back together and everybody loves everybody, because otherwise it ruins the brand. No different than when Michael Richards ranted at the fucking Laugh Factory about the N-word. Jerry was on Letterman the following night to make sure that, the new DVD sales don't go into the toilet because of this. And he did a bad job of it, but he had a vested interest. Yeah. He didn't care about Michael Richards. I don't give a fuck. I don't think. I think at that point he was all about money. Oh yeah, and him and Larry. So they weren't having that. No way. No, and the Friends cast was the same. And for that situation, it's like, we got to. Like, maybe they put up with him. Maybe there were some good moments, but for the most part, the way he was, you could tell, God, no, I don't want anything to do with this person. And they knew he was fucked up. They knew he had all kinds of problems, and they just wanted to wash their hands of it. And the foreword that, what's her name, that she wrote for the book, Lisa Kudrow, it sounded like someone who was held at gunpoint being forced to write this foreword. That's how bad it was. It was awful. Yeah, I remember that too. We'll definitely get back to it at one point, guys. Me and Kayla and Len's all in. He fucking hates him after the clips I played for him. Oh, good. Anyway, here we go, guys.
Plus, my wife cleaned out his whole apartment, which was insane. With so much shit packed in there, you wouldn't believe it. He in the dictionary next to the word pack rat is Ralph's picture.
That the way he explained that way, that was even more salacious, more like kind of vicious. She cleaned his house away. That's even more like damning, in my opinion. That means that they literally went and scraped everything off the walls and just took a dump truck and burned it. You know,
it was a total inventory. I'm sure there was a staff of people to write down or photograph everything in every box, label it, and then it was probably boxed up and put in some, storage facility somewhere. And he's probably bitching about that too. But I don't know.
Like at the end of Temple of Doom.
Yeah. I mean, Beth even talked about doing a auction of his figurines and collector's items from comic book stuff.
Right.
And donating that to the family. But we haven't heard another thing about that. That was all just fluff because it was like, oops, I got caught, or, I have to explain away what I was doing over there at 4 a.m. the day after he died.
And so that's anyway. It's just the way it came off there was a little perturbing. The next one here, guys, is something. It's a preamble to something we're going to cut. I'm going to cut with Len starting next week. The Pearl Jam interview finally. But this is Jeremy spoke of a pre-planned Pearl Jam promo.
Let's go to Jeff. Jeff in Massachusetts. What up?
Hey, Howard. How's it going?
All right.
He had a great conversation with Eddie Vedder last time. I saw Pearl Jam's got a new album coming out. Any chance you're going to have him back on?
Jeff, I'm going to tell you exclusively.
Isn't that funny? You had this all ready to go. Yeah. No one thinks that's fucking planned. Jesus, that's bad.
Holy. This is just for you, Jeff.
So just for you, everyone else, go to another station. So, actually, Pearl Jam will be making their Stern Show debut. Yes, we had Eddie Vedder on, but the whole band is coming on later this month. They'll be live from their warehouse in Seattle. Eddie was on in 2020, which was a thrill of a lifetime, but I've never had the full band on before. So tune in on Monday, April 22nd for Pearl Jam. They will be on the show. I'll talk with all the guys. We'll talk about how they write the music. Love Eddie Vedder, and I love Pearl Jam. You know, we were on K-Rock in the 90s.
Name 5 songs without fucking John Hines notes asshole.
Without, him in your ear.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the longest interview Howard's ever done was Eddie Vedder. It was over 3 hours. It was like 3:15.
And to the best of my knowledge, we didn't cover it clip-wise at all, didn't we?
Nope. It was boring as hell.
Yeah.
It was, and it was all Howard interrupting and asking musical questions that he has no concept of the answer that he's getting.
Yeah.
Someone else wrote the question, so they're getting the answer, but he's just, rapid firing questions like he always does.
Well, and that was pandemic. I think it was a virtual call.
Yeah. It was probably 2020.
Yeah.
2019. Yeah. 20.
Well, pandemic 2020, late 2020, early 2021, something like that. I seem to recall it was around Christmas.
So nobody had anything going on at that point. It was like, I got 3 hours. I can ramble on with you.
Yeah. But next one is called She Knows.
Katy Perry says she's leaving the show after this season.
Yes.
Maybe they'll probably call me to step in, but because of my
you're going to be the pretty girl between Lionel Richie and Luke, Brian.
Yeah. No, we'll get rid of Luke and we'll get a hot chick in there. And
Jesus Christ. A little bit of trolling.
Robin knows.
Yeah, and what they're referring to, guys, obviously American Idol. As far as I know, it's not AGT. It's American Idol with the Lionel Richies on there now these days. The American Idol thing is funny for me now because what I've been doing the last few days, guys, is clipping for the upcoming J-Lo interview, which certainly will not be allowed on YouTube. Of course, you're going to have to get on Patreon if you're not already. And I don't know why I'm saying this. This is going to be a Patreon episode most likely. So it's preaching to the converted or the newly converted. But what's going to happen? What I had to do was look up all the fucking clips of him trashing J-Lo over the years, and mostly it's about her her big fat ass, or she's not looking good in this dress, or she can't act, and there's a lot of stuff, but mostly it's about her ass. And the time that she ran away from him at a party, and Mark Anthony was talking to him instead. I'm like, isn't that what you want? Talking to the guy? Yeah, go ahead.
If there was ever a time to pull out my rosaries, it would be over this interview happening. I am worried that she's going to back out. I'm worried that they didn't mention her on Wednesday of last week. So it's supposed to be this coming Wednesday, a week later, but either he conveniently didn't mention it, or he just got sidetracked and he's a 79.
Yeah.
But he was reading off the promos for, whatever. And I think Robin might have said something. So that's questionable. And we know how Jennifer is.
Yeah.
And if someone gets in her ear, or Bring Back Jackie starts tweeting at her and sending her clips of shit, holy cow. But I don't know. There's so much. And just what you sent me from Mark's friggin', I'm like, ooh, we got to do this. Got to do it. And it's so, even if she doesn't come on, let's just rip her to shreds.
Let's do it anyway, if it's just to make him look like an asshole and scuttle that interview, or, make it a proper rescinding. And so while I was doing it, she did, I think, a year on American Idol at some point. Early 2010, 2011, I believe she had a contract to do. She was appearing on American Idol, and he started critiquing her on it.
Oh, see, that's not a show I watch. And
yeah, same.
It's been on so long, my memory is just wasted on too much other Howard stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
So maybe it was a guest appearance. It was one of those, they have her sit in as a guest judge, and maybe it wasn't a full year, but I think she was there, and he made fun of her laughing at herself, which is something he made. He did the same to Artie's first year, actually. But then Artie had to, and Artie was doing it, unfortunately, too much. But oh well. I can't really that was one aspect of, he said something like, and I've got the clip, but he said, well, your career's over when you go on one of these shows. A very prophetic wig. Anyway, The next one is called Ralph Was a Lazy Bitch.
You should see my new wardrobe. I, since Ralph died, I've been wandering the desert looking for clothing to wear and lost. Ralph was a funny dude. Ralph would come over to my apartment. I said, Ralph, I need some new clothes, man. Some of this shit doesn't fit anymore. And whatever store was next to my apartment, that's where Ralph would go. He would never, he believed in time economy. No, he didn't wander.
That's a lie. He would order online for you all the time. We heard about it. We have the audio.
Well, again, he's a better friend in death than he is in real life. I'm not sure what that says about him in real life again.
Well,
who does he think he is half the time? My God.
Also, what clothes don't fit anymore? How has his shape changed in the last 20 years?
It's gotten more pear-like.
Well, okay, but not like his slouching. His slouching ain't gonna affect his waist.
Well, he says he's got a belly and tits.
A belly and tits.
Does he? Does he have like an old man belly that he can't get rid of?
All of a sudden he's precious? Come on, there's no way. I mean, like, if he has a paunch, what's that paunch going to look like? It'll look like a fucking, I don't know, a calzone or something. That's about it. But no, he's full of shit. The clothes don't fit. If they wear out, because the other thing is, a guy like him, he's also a lazy piece of shit. He's going to wear the same thing until it disintegrates constantly.
Bingo.
I mean, some people think he's got this big wardrobe, like 20 things of the same pair of pants. No way. I think he doesn't have a whole lot of anything. And he just, and if there's smell, he's got 2 pairs maybe of everything, or 3 pairs of everything, and that's it. But he doesn't, take care of his wardrobe. He needs someone else to do it. And you've already got a clip ready for the later in the month, basically saying, I have everybody doing everything for me. I do nothing for myself. Mm-hmm. He finally admits it, as opposed to, hinting at it or talking about his tutors. He goes, nothing. He does nothing. When we say veal, we're not fucking joking.
Oh no, it's scary. Just how many people must work for him.
Yep.
How many, the chain of command and the dishing out of duties to get everything, whatever he wants. But it's obvious he doesn't get his own mail.
Nope.
So anything, he doesn't even know how to order on Amazon. He has other people to do that for him. Like,
Brutal.
how hard is that? That blows my mind. Anyway,
Beth,
Ralph was a lazy piece of shit. That was the meaning of the clip.
Oh, one sec. I just imagine Beth, what's our zip code? Fucking hell. The next one here, guys, is called Beefus Orders the Emperor's New Clothes. It ties in with clip number 1 about the polo shirts.
But anyway, my wife has stepped in, helping me out. So she's really good at ordering online. We got boxes coming in and out of this house like every 15 minutes. So I said, could you buy me some shirts and stuff? So I don't know. One day, like 50 boxes showed up. And you know how much I hate trying on clothes. And I mean, it's like torture for me. So I opened up these boxes and there was like shitloads of, but she got me like bathing suits. And she got me this skimpy
You needed
little,
a bathing suit wardrobe as well?
I didn't know, but she's saying, we're supposed to go away this summer. We have a trip planned. She goes, you're going to need bathing suits. I go, I got a ton of bathing suits. She goes, those bathing suits look horrible on you. Like they're big and bad. I wear these big baggy, like board shorts looking kind of bathing suits because I think it hides my belly.
Belly. Howard, you're right. You're full of shit. I'm just like thinking, okay, like, first of all, how hard is it to order online? She's a genius at ordering online. Okay, well, I guess Fox Chapel, had a fucking Amazon.com, course in high school that she took. But one thing is, like, if they're going to Italy, and you brought up finally the list that you started, you brought up, you had a picture that you sent me. You decided to put it on Facebook, which is funny as fuck. I love the way you word things, and people are adding their own things. The trip is going to come up. He's going to go to Italy, and like their bathing suits. A guy like him should be wearing the only reason for the board shorts is that it makes him a little bigger. It doesn't make him look as reedy as he knows he is. He's very
for sure
self-conscious about looking like a pool cue.
Well, he's going to be wearing t-shirts apparently, and everybody, I guess not everybody, but Emily Blunt brought up that he was scared of the sun, and he was deathly afraid of it as far as like always being in shade, clothing, whatever. So he must be some kind of maniac. I don't understand why he has this, like, he calls it a skin cancer fear because he's had, cancer scares that with dermatitis, whatever.
Yeah.
We all get them.
Well, the thing
I've had marks removed and moles. It's not a big deal.
All right. The next clip, guys, is called Polo Pussy.
She got me a bunch of shirts with like polo shirts, like Ralph Lauren, and I'm like,
with a collar?
Sure? Yeah. And I was like, honey, are you sure this is what Howard Stern should be wearing? I mean,
I already have the Photoshop that I showed you. It's at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. By the way,
that's fantastic.
How much is he really going to hate Italy? Because honestly, traveling, and like if it's tourist season, that's the worst. He should be going in May when it's not tourist season.
The heat is going to be unbearable over there. The humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, even Italians leave the country during July and August. So
yeah,
he might have they'll have the place to themselves. I don't understand, but it's just, I can't wait to see or hear the stories. Sorry. I doubt Beef will be on Instagram. So we'll get some jewels there, I hope.
I certainly hope so. Fuck. Just like the beads of sweat dripping off. What? Oh, Kimmel. Actually, no, I think there's probably, he knows better. I think he's going to he'll take his own pictures with his wife, but they will not be doing a lot of selfies with Howard, because Howard would be like, no. Even with Jimmy, he would insist, no.
No, I mean, if Howard approves them.
Yeah.
Then
it's debatable. But speaking to your point about the sun and stuff, do you ever? Maybe I'm alone here, but when I go, if I know I'm going to be in the sun these days, I use the UV sleeves. I put them up. I put them if I'm wearing a t-shirt, I cover up my arm up to the hand with these UV things. And it's not because of the sun so much. It's because I sweat like a pig, and the sweat goes right down my arm and onto my fingertips. And all of a sudden, like, because I walk a lot, and it's, I just sweat too much. So touching things, it's all sweaty. Everything gets sweaty. So those things do a great job of keeping the sweat on the arm and then just dissipating over the day.
Okay. Yeah, I've been like a sunbather my whole life.
Yeah.
I used to use the baby oil, all that. I had a chair out behind my house. I'd go out after school and I'd be like, my friends, we'd compete to see who could be the tannest by like whatever, July 4th or.
Right.
Anyway, so you're talking to the wrong person about skin protection right here. I will use it now.
Yeah.
But it has to be like it's going to be a scorcher of a day and I'm going to be out in the baseball field for 3 hours, then yeah, okay.
The thing is, I hate suntan lotion. I hate the idea because I'm like a gorilla. So it clumps when I put it on. So that's the other reason for doing that. I hate I'd rather cover up my head than put on sun cream. That's I will do it if I have to, if it's necessary, but I loathe doing it. The other thing is I got moles every single part of my body. So I do have a vested interest in not making sure I get, making sure I don't turn into a, fucking chicken fillet at 7-Eleven.
Yes, but we're talking about Chinstrap or Lestat, Wiggy the Vampire, who... Chinstrap is about the big floppy hat he wears that you'd think he's out in the rice fields pulling patties, but he's just so neurotic and he's got to be special all the time. Snake boots, no sun, no fun. He's just a pisser.
He'll be Stephen Dorff in Blade, Deacon Frost covering up in the sunlight with a big black baseball helmet to survive the sun. It'll be retarded. Going into April 2nd, guys, no longer April Fool's Day, but we're going into first clip. The HR department at SiriusXM was fired.
Richard's birthday. He did a phony phone call in honor of his birthday, an April Fool's phone call, and he confessed that his fantasy is to be nude for his birthday and have the guys in the studio touch his penis or a sausage and see if they can identify which is which. And we're going to make that happen today. A lot of people excited about that.
Sounds exciting.
Many people think the show
rushing in.
Yeah, a lot of people think the show has become too gay, but what can I tell you? This is what
you can say. Yes.
You can say you'll stop. That would be great.
Yeah, no kidding. And since you started using this term, you're correct. Lazy jelly beaner plus rest in peace, Ben. Based on that fucking audio of him as a child whining away and then being obnoxious, yelling stuff out for just to because there's a microphone nearby. He is jelly beaner. We're gonna go right into that.
Thinking I think I'm supposed to visit my dad's grave, but I haven't gotten it together to do that. Like people do that for some reason, but I haven't done it.
Well, I thought there was, but you may have missed that. Isn't there after a year, some stone is supposed to be placed?
Unveiling,
you're supposed to have a, Yeah.
It's too painful. No, he's got a nice headstone and stuff.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw a picture of it. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, first off, guys, before we go into it,
go.
Poor Ben Stern can't escape getting his. There's nothing that this show won't plug. On the site where Ben is buried, and it's really sad to see actually the picture, but it's in the Jewish tradition, I guess you have to wait a year before the headstone is erected. I saw the same thing with Don Rickles. I figured it must be for religious intent. They post instead a marker, it's almost like those things that they do to mine. There's minefield, be careful, guys. So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say it looks more like a realtor house sign that you put out front, or
open house.
So and so Joey just graduated, class of 2024, that kind of thing.
But the difference is the sign. It says there's Benjamin Stern, the date of his life, and then a Star of David. And then just underneath it says Gutterman's Inc. Funeral Directors Monuments by Gutterman's.
Plugging into death, man. That's something else.
Listen, I've never seen that in my life. Never seen a funeral marker for a deceased Jewish person that actually had plugging the fucking place twice.
Funeral home, yeah. No.
Funeral home. And he mentioned it on the air. He mentioned it so many fucking times, Gutterman's.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, there's no way that wasn't a paid plug.
How many times do we have to hear about Dr. Schlafmitz?
Yes.
And how Beth can't pronounce it. Like, just no. Everything is money. Oh my God. It's all freebies.
Right. And does it surprise anyone that he hasn't been there to visit his father? Like, and that's his business, of course. But that, I can tell you the next time he'll go, which is never.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Ben's gone. The only value he has is to do a shitty impression, which, by the way, he hasn't really done since Ben passed away, has he?
No, there's been stories about Ben, but they're always in Ray's voice or his voice.
Yep.
You're supposed to go there for that, I thought.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go. I'm actually making a pilgrimage, but I got to pull it together. I have a lot of responsibilities. I'm very famous, Robin. I just can't go to
And
cemetery.
are you going because you want to or because you're supposed to?
All right. What are you, my psychiatrist?
I'm just asking. I'm interested.
No, if I go, I'm going to go because I want to. What do you think of that? How's that for an answer?
All right.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's truthful, but that's my answer. All right, Steve.
No, the only reason he would go is because he's forced to. Like his daughters will take him or something like that or whatever. But there's just no way he's going to go. Of his own recognizance, no, I don't think so.
No, he'd have to be dragged there by Ashley or somebody. I don't know, sister maybe.
Yep.
It just, yeah.
Well, because there is supposedly, I think there is a ceremony in which the headstone, when it does actually get placed, the family are there for it's like an unveiling or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm fairly certain because it would be some type of event and it makes sense to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just do it. It's all planned and no one's there and they just one day the year passes and then the headstone gets erected. But either way, I shouldn't talk about erections here, guys. Number 3, please stand by for technical difficulties.
Aw, they're so cute.
Weird.
Maybe she's.
Plus, we got to get to
on her way.
Plus, we got to get to the Richard bit.
Sausage or penis?
Yeah, I don't hear you, Robin. It's weird. Something's going on. Something's in the air. It's fucked up. Anyway, I can't figure it out. Say testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
You're gone.
Nothing.
Maybe one of the guys can fix it. We're having a technical difficulty, but because I definitely want you in on this discussion about.
Yeah, I want you in on this discussion, but when President Biden was in studio getting interviewed, I didn't want you anywhere near him. Now, mind you, I've got a couple things to talk about with that Biden thing. Not that I care one way or the other. And political, honestly, guys, politics for Raven and I is not anything we're interested in that much. But I found it. For people asking questions like why wasn't Robin there for it, because he was obviously in studio, was physically there, even if he was fucking 20 ping pong tables apart from him. There's 2 reasons why. Number 1, he doesn't want anybody horning in on that fucking interview. That's number 1. Number 2, it might have been like a Secret Service type thing because there is probably a protocol with the presidents in general. I know they have it's almost like a McDonald's Bible of security things that they have to do. It's it's just
I get
standard.
that. That's fine.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is they don't have Robin's booth anymore. Like when she has to go back, like when he goes back, they just set up a desk. They have all the monitors say Howard Stern, and it's easy as pie. They don't have to do anything. They know the settings, even though they fuck them up, and then he's good to go. Like but they give him a room. It's not his room.
Correct. It looks like any generic studio just with the Howard Stern screens up. They even took his books out for the Biden interview. Any other interview, there are like 6 or 7 in the shot. But the thing about Robin not being there is she's unhinged. She's overly emotional. She's erratic. you don't know if she's coming at you or with you. And she's crying a lot more. So I think it's possible that maybe she's gotten some, bad news. Maybe things are heading in the wrong direction.
Well, G-Chup thinks that between now and the trip, she's not going to last. And like he posted just recently on our Facebook page. And I mean, she is more emotional, that's for certain. And with the Heart interview, which we haven't got to, guys, and I don't know that we will. It wasn't a very good interview, but we did. I think we played, or we have the clip of her emoting.
Yeah, I saved it.
Yeah, we haven't played it yet, but she's just a wreck, and she was also crying when they did that Christmas thing and they got all together or whatever it was, and in studio for the first time.
That's
and
right.
that part makes that's post COVID. They haven't seen anybody. She hasn't seen anybody. That makes sense to me. Let's give her a pass for that.
Bon Jovi, she cried.
Yep.
And then this week they were playing a Pearl Jam mashup. Was it Pearl Jam? No, it was Billy Joel. And Robin got all weepy during that.
Uh-huh.
And it took her like 2 minutes to recover, which I clipped. You have it.
Well, so
But
what do you attribute
proud
it?
of that.
No. Do you think it's the end is near and she's just now thinking about every fucking interview as if it's her last?
Yeah, because with the summer off, anything could happen.
Yeah.
The show keeps her going in a weird way. Without the show, maybe she's worried about what'll happen to her over the summer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just gotten bad news, like I said, from the docs.
Yeah. Or maybe just being emotional because whatever she's taking is making her more emotional. I mean, some type of hormone treatment.
Right.
I have no idea, Anyway, we'll you guys judge for yourselves based on for those of you who've heard the clips anyway, and let us know what you think. The next one is Schlubbo. God, I wish he could say this himself. Schlubbo. Jesus fuck. Schlubbo Sloucho.
We have friends who are pretty wealthy and they belong to a country club, and we were invited to go to lunch, except now we're concerned about my outfit.
Well, it was heartbreaking, Robin, because we see this couple all the time and they're so lovely.
We love them.
And they kind of hinted, they're like, oh, would you ever consider coming to the country club with us? And then 2 seconds later, it's so heartbreaking. The wife goes, well, Howard, you can't wear jeans.
Oy.
And then
do I own slacks?
And then this next time we saw them, the husband goes, Howard, you have to tuck your shirt in. They are so concerned.
Everyone is completely, like I really, honestly, I'm really nervous about wearing slacks with a tucked in shirt. I'll be honest.
I have an outfit for you.
Gary could teach him about how to, not tuck it in because, Gary's been doing that for ages. It's the fat guy thing. You cover up the, you don't want anybody to see where the belt ends and the belly continues, whatever. But mostly it's not that. When he has stuff loose, it covers up how thin he is.
Well, that's their sponsors, Untuck It. They make shirts to wear that way.
Yes.
That's no coincidence. That's all plugola.
That's funny. I don't know if I have a pair of slacks.
No motorcycle boots, I guess.
Who brought Jack the Ripper to the fucking country club? The next one, guys, Beef thinks that 79 isn't funny.
He's talking about how sometimes I don't run things by you because, like, what happened with Joan Rivers' funeral when I told you I was going to do a
we have
giant.
different humor.
We have very different humor, which is what I love about you, too. I mean, I do love that about you. And
what? That I don't think you're funny?
Yeah, I kind of do.
God bless you, girl.
Well,
You're awesome.
we know how you feel. He's not funny and never has been. Let's be real. The next one, this one, for some reason, I just thought of airplane food with this clip. With the title of this one: Beef's dried out eggs still crave a child.
You should see Howard with her. It's the cutest thing, Robin.
It is great being a grandpa.
It's so adorable with her.
I love her.
It makes me cry.
It is fun.
It's really cute.
It's easier,
I was reading something.
It's great being a grandpa when you didn't admit you were one for years.
No.
And you had to be
2.5 years.
shoehorned. If it wasn't for Robin, if you didn't admit it accidentally on the air, you still wouldn't admit you had grandma. I firmly believe that if he hadn't fucked up and mentioned it, he never would have mentioned it.
I think, he would have kept it going as long as he could. But now he brags about it, like with talking to Biden about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just retarded. Do you know how many people are grandpas your age?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You're not special, Howard. Next one. Beefus stocks the bowling alley wine cellar.
Oh.
Yeah.
With dolls and...
Yeah, we got to gear up for your brother's kids.
Yeah.
We're really not prepared.
Yes, we are.
Are we?
A lot of wine for me.
I do have to.
A lot of pills.
Fuck.
A lot of dust.
Do you honestly know anybody that talks about wine as much as she does? Like when we're covering stuff like this, like I know people. So there are people that only drink wine because that's their alcohol of choice. That makes perfect sense. Or they're wine connoisseurs, or budding onophiles. They think they know something about it. That's fine. But most people don't, on a regular basis, mention wine like she does constantly when she's on the show.
No, I mean, like Hoda and Kathy Lee, they were fun for a while watching them drink in the morning.
Okay.
But no, Beef always has to throw that in, like glass of wine for him, a bottle for me.
Two-fisting it.
It does seem to always be in her hand or nearby. So.
Nearby is key. Yeah, there's always got to be a cellar and a tap, and her head is like right at the tap. Her mouth is right at the tap. Do you remember in The Jerk, the Steve Martin film where they're at the tennis court and they have there's instead of a water dispenser, there's a wine dispenser, a red one and a white one, and they got Dixie cups or whatever. No, but it dispenses champagne glasses or wine glasses, and so they just put, that's what they decided to do, and that's how I think that's how much she probably drinks. Like she would need something like that around, a box of wine.
If she's gonna stash gummy bears, she's stashing booze too.
I think so. Yep. And the next one, guys, the last one for this day actually is called Bedtime Fairy Tales and Does Beef Snore?
Hey, by the way, what happened to you last night? I rolled over and you weren't in bed.
Oh, I was there.
Were you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see so well in the dark anymore.
I woke up this morning from our bed.
You did?
Yeah. He's been snoring lately, so I've been going and sleeping in the guest bedroom, but last night I was with you.
Oh.
You weren't snoring last night.
Sometimes I look over and I think you're there. And then...
do you know, I think I put a pillow divider up.
What was that about?
Because I wanted to turn over to you, and then you always wake me up and tell me to turn over because I'm breathing too loudly.
Yeah,
so
you breathe loud.
I didn't want to be interrupted.
Yeah.
Sleep. Breathing too loud implies she's got apnea as well, and she's breathing through the mouth. At least that's the way I would think.
Right, and the drinking's just going to make that worse. So...
What like clogging up
snoring.
Snoring?
Any kind of respiratory. Yeah, drinking totally does that because I should know I quit drinking. And the feedback is fantastic from the family.
No snoring?
No more snoring.
Oh, really? Interesting. Because I'm not a heavy drink. I've stopped. I'll have to ask Mrs. Fillmore about that because some of it is in the dust season, what do you call it? Hay fever season. I do have a bit of dust allergies, but nothing like she does. But how I get snoring and stuff. My God, I've used the fucking Breathe Right strips. I take Nasonex or whatever the fuck it's called. Like before I go to sleep to clear up my passageway. Most of the time, sometimes I used to take Advil Cold and Sinus just before so that it would clear me up, so I wouldn't snore initially. So in the first couple hours, when she goes to sleep, when I let her get to sleep, and then I fall asleep, and then I'm not, she says sometimes she thinks I snore to get back at her, like to wake her up or something. She thinks it's deliberate. She says I'm about to fall asleep, and then suddenly
Hey, there's nothing wrong with 2 beds, 2 bedrooms, or a couch and a bed, whatever you do. I'm just saying, for me, I could sleep anywhere. It doesn't matter. I'm totally good.
Okay, guys, we're going to the next collection of clips, which is April 8th. This goes past the meeting with the Ostrowskis, 79 days later, which we covered, and that was the last breakdown. So again, we're time warping here, but let's make like Tim Curry, and just do the time warp again. Go to the 8th, and we're going to do clip number 1. 79 is too high.
Clips. I think technically what's happening is the moon. Let me see if I remember. I wrote it down. And tell me if I have it right. I could be wrong. The moon is in front of the sun. That's
between the earth and the sun. Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. 79 knows what.
It was only in the news all week.
Yeah. Apparently, 14th grade, they didn't teach about eclipses. So
the last time I didn't, obviously I'm not in North America, so depending where you were, you didn't see like the full thing. You saw like a weird sort of a version of it, I suppose, or partial eclipse, depending where you lived. But the last time I saw one would have been like as my first year as an undergrad. And I remember specifically, I didn't have the glasses or anything to look up, so I never did. I just saw the pictures and video on TV and stuff. But I do recall specifically, it was very cool. The light was such that everything looked like it was, when you have your photo on your phone and you change it to sepia or you change the filter, it felt like everything in the city was being given this strange light filter, and it was so odd. It was so cool. I thought it was great. It was amazing, but it did feel a little eerie,
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can only imagine like what early man went through when that happened to them.
And I can only imagine what they look like when I look at Bowie and I look at Howard walking. He does look like the evolution of man. Part of that slouching guy, Neanderthal going to modern day. Next one, guys, is called Big Shot Basketball Beef. And this is just a kind of memory lane here a little bit as well.
Well, Beth evidently too. I didn't even know this really. I mean, I kind of knew, but for real, she got offered a bunch of scholarships, full rights to school to play women's basketball.
Wow.
Yeah. So the whole family was getting, offers.
If that's true, why didn't she take it? That's she just didn't want to be sports. She wanted to be famous some other way. She wanted to model. You think, what was the story there? That sounds like bullshit.
Total bullshit. I've never heard this before. And if she had something to brag about, she would. I think so. Like speaking 5 languages.
Right.
They could brag about that, but they won't brag about her scholarships for basketball. Come on. I don't buy it.
And the 5 languages thing was only said that one time and then never again, which is obviously bullshit because she's a provincial dullard. But at the same time, yeah, if you had some athletic ability, even like that would be something to be proud of. If I got a scholarship to go somewhere for whatever, gymnastics or, football or something like that, that would be something to not brag about, but definitely have a conversation like, oh, this is what it was like and it was competitive and blah, blah, blah. And I broke my ankle. You'd have stories about it and that would be natural. But this doesn't come up before. You're right. I've never heard that she got offered a scholarship.
No, I think it's just she was left out of the athletic conversation because of the brothers, and they needed to pump her up a little bit. So
I guess so. Like he wants to make it they're all athletic.
Here's the idea that I'm thinking of what really happened. And she was in a tournament with her school basketball team, and there were coaches observing all of the teams, not just her, all these teams. And she translates that into, oh, I had offers for college.
Yes.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? It's shifty.
Yeah, it's a meat market essentially. You get scouted for certain colleges because what ends up happening. That's how scouting works. One guy tells another guy about someone. Like one scout is going to watch specific players on this team, but while they're watching the game, they see the other team and they get a note. They make a mental note to tell someone who's in charge of this district, whatever. Check out so and so. They're definitely, worth watching. And then it happens. If she was any kind of fucking basketball whiz, then yeah, she would have been picked up. And for her size as well, because she's quite, we talk about her. She's freakishly these big hands. So she could palm a couple basketballs with them.
I just, I don't know what her basketball skills are. I haven't seen many athletic skills from her. So other than cartwheels in the backyard with her brothers and her legs up in the air wearing a jean skirt.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then doing cartwheels. Yeah. And then and I remember what I love about that whole thing, because someone had done the video still on YouTube with that Summer Days song, whatever. Most of the pictures are about the brothers.
Oh, it's such a tribute to them. Like,
yeah,
he was just Wiggy was just into his photography, and he had the perfect subjects. So, you know, 2 days out for a photo shoot in the hot sun with the boys.
Yes.
Can only imagine.
Right. And it also looked like she was in the middle of an incest gangbang or something, like right before it happens.
It's sick.
It is sick. The next one, guys, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Grifters.
Lucky, I know my this week my wife's aunt, 2 aunts, and mom are coming to stay with us. So yeah, so maybe I'll bring all 3 of them down.
And you mean your mother-in-law is coming with the 2 aunts?
Yeah,
that
her
she
sisters.
can get on the air and defend herself.
Right.
Oh man, that you know what? That makes perfect sense now. The wine thing, that's for them too.
Mm-hmm.
That we need to be perfect, we're fully stocked, because that was information after the fact. They definitely need a couple crates of fucking Giulio Gallo, whatever that Gallo wine, port. I don't know, to fucking go nuts on that. Next one is Shut the Fuck Up, Subway Slouch Show. Love this.
I don't think it's so bad, by the way. I really don't. I think Subway's great. I spent 4 years in college eating Subway every day for lunch.
No.
He is full of shit. We talked about this, and we guarantee, like, that's nonsense. Subway did not exist. We talked about that in the last one, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's just, again, the world's oldest teenager.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's younger than he is. It's funny.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I have that one clip. Just right now, I'm just going to really do an audible here. Guys, I found the clip I was looking for. This is something from, I'm going to say 2008-ish. And this is from Cormano over at Reddit. And it's Wiggy beat off to Denise Richards in college.
I'm going to sit down. I'm anxious to talk to her because I became aware of Denise Richards back years ago. I forget. I guess I was in college or whatever, or maybe
college. You're not that old.
I don't
Were you at her birth?
I don't remember when did the movie Starship Troopers come out?
Oh, in the
98, Howard.
Yeah, late 90s.
I think.
98. Well, 98, I don't know how old I was.
I was in college.
You were 44.
Oh my God. Like, why even say that? Why? I must have been in college. Why even say that?
Because he's desperate. He's so desperate.
What, does he want to make himself appear younger than he actually is? Is that the realization? I mean, if you jerked off to her and you were 50, that's okay. Guys jerk off in their 50s and probably in their 60s and 70s, I suppose. And it's probably like shooting a pool with the length of rope, as George Bird would say. But
no comment.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
She's an adult, so he can do whatever, fine, have at it. But don't lie to me and tell me you were in college when you were 44. Just don't, okay? No one's buying it. He thinks he's pulling off this young rock star look. Like, he really believes that.
Yes.
He's delusional.
Yeah. It's something else. The next one, 79 and Me.
According to my mom, my grandfather was insane. Like, he was fucking nuts. Fighting with people, pulling knives on people. He sent my mother and her sister away when they were 9 to an orphanage because it sounds like the whole family tree could have been monsters. I don't really want to know, but I don't want to insult my mother-in-law because I understand the DNA kit's like about $110 she spent on this thing. So
that DNA kit, that's all Noelle Claire needs.
Yep, totally.
To confirm. I wonder if he's smart enough to pick up on that.
I don't think so. And it would be actually one of those. But then, of course, to really make it work, you got to get the other person on the other end doing the test as well.
Oh, well, that won't be a problem. That they're a family of grifters.
But
They
I
stick
guarantee.
together.
But Howard's not getting his DNA tested.
Well, that's what they're trying for. I think it's funny.
Well, it is.
That,
It would be.
you know,
It would
that would
be.
be
It would be
something.
hysterical if it came up and Noelle Claire he shows up.
You have a relative.
You have a exactly son, daughter.
Oh, fuck. Then there's a knock at the door. It's the lawyer serving them papers.
No
right away.
kidding. Well, I mean, the DNA thing, and now I don't know how other people feel about this. I did it. I got like I believe me, I got sucked into it like 2016. I think I did it, and it was very trendy. I guess at the time was starting to be a big thing. I used FamilyTreeDNA.com, and they're actually they do a pretty good job, as good as anybody, and they've updated their site a little better these days. But I think my mother said that's all I need to find out I have more family I can ignore. And she was right. I mean, like she said, it's hard enough to keep track of the family we have, which is already large. But I was just fascinated because I wanted to see exactly what it would indicate, and it hasn't really. There were no surprises for the most part, but they have found killers, murderers. There's DNA has actually exonerated people who've gone to jail. There's a famous case in Canada, the Guy Paul Morin case. He was there's a little girl that was murdered, and they found out that so this guy went to jail. The Crown had to pay him all kinds of millions to be in reparations because he did something like 20, 30 years in jail for a crime he did not commit. DNA proved it was impossible. So that's what's happening, and I find that fascinating too.
No, I absolutely love that. That's great. Finally, justice for somebody out there.
Yeah, albeit skewed. But then that's how the what was it, the Patton Oswalt's wife, based on the Golden State Killer, they found the actual killer who was still alive, but an old man, via DNA testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I gave it to my mom one year for a Christmas gift, just because I thought it'd be fun, and she it never occurred to her to do it. So we did it, and there was no surprises. It was everything we were told as kids, pretty much, like Eastern European, like, Polish, German, Irish, Czech.
I would, that's what I would guess from just
whatever that area was 99.995%.
Yeah.
And the rest I think was South African or just African.
How much?
0.005.
Oh, then that's so infinitesimally small. That's almost not even. They wouldn't even. They would almost some other websites. Some other of those websites would not even count that. Actually, they would just say like it's not enough to be. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna do it.
No, don't do it. Why would
I don't want to know?
Do it.
I mean, what can I find out? What can I find out? What? I'm sure I'll find out something that'll lower my self-esteem even more. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I think my in-laws just want to have me tested, see what the fuck I am.
That's right. Yeah. Just we need, a pedigree on him.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he could be worried there's some kind of paternity thing or like maybe something out there. And why are the in-laws insisting on it? That's a great point.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah. This go the next one, guys. Sauer is a mad genius. I love this shit.
Now, we even put what they call an ISDN line into Sauer's house, which is a very high, it's a very good line, high quality. And then he started using it to break into other Sirius channels. So then we had to take it out. I mean, it was, we got into trouble.
So funny. He's the best.
I didn't know it gave him that kind of access. I just thought it was like a red line or something.
No, he is a mad fucking genius to do that shit. And he'd play along like Francesa. He'd call his show different, whatever he could get.
Well, clearly they don't want him on the Stern Show because they can't control him.
No. Well, they try. They want sole custody. Let's put it that way.
they want sole custody. They want him like Hannibal Lecter meeting the senator. They want him fucking gagged and bound and put on that fucking refrigerator trolley thing. No, he's too fast and he's too talented for that show.
Yeah.
You know, we've said that about many people on the show, but he specifically would be one of those fucking like talents that you just let him be. Like, you don't know what you're going to get, but it's most likely going to be good.
And it's so rare when we get like a glimpse of our past, which is sour, of the good times. So I hear a Jackie laugh every now and then. I hear a Gilbert laugh. It still takes me back, you know. And then when you guys do Artie stuff, I'm rolling. And
I love when he would do Artie. His Artie voice is pretty good too. Anyway. Also,
I wanted to say Sam and Bob, I love the O&A stuff. Keep it coming. I need more stat. Just like you guys are doing awesome. Yes, I did not know about O&A. That, you know, the first day I listened was the day they went to jail for the church stunt.
Sure.
That was the first day I tuned in, and I'm like, what am I listening to? These guys are amazing.
Well, they were. Opie was clearly the weak link, though. I mean, the guaranteed. Like he was. I think, and Sam and I discussed this a little bit before. You do need a person to round out the corners, like a Nick DiPaolo, like Nick and Artie show. Artie was the talent. Nick was a great person at driving the bus, basically. But if you need someone to do the riffing, well, that's Artie's forte. But it works. Like, it works on that. And I don't know that there'd be a resentment. In fact, I know there must have been, because when Anthony was talking on Joe Rogan later, like he was doing an interview on Rogan, and he said, I would show up a couple minutes late, and rather than keep it silent because the commercial's still going on, whatever, like the intro's going on, Opie would say, oh, guess who just showed up? Like, dude, what are you ratting me out on the bosses? But then we rationalized, no, you know, that was Anthony most likely taking advantage of knowing that he was the essential part. He was an essential part of the combo and the talent, and being a little laissez-faire, because he said it happened a few times. And I'm like, well, why is it happening a few times? You should never be late for work and on anywhere.
No, but by talking about it, it's giving them free content.
I suppose, but I mean, this wasn't something that it sounded like it was personal. You know, like Opie was upset that, why do I have to be here on time, but you don't, that kind of thing. And I get that dynamic.
Oh, right.
But the first time I ever heard them was, I think, the Patrice talking about not doing the Stern show anymore.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And they just covered that in the part 3, guys, which, shameless plug, it's coming out. They did a good job. The next one up is the Emily Stern. They're goofing. Bill Burr's in studio with Patrice, and they're talking about the Kabbalah play. And I'm going to sit in on that one because there's another clip where he's on Larry King. He's on Larry King trying to explain it away, and he's fucking fumpering. And it's his worst goddamn nightmare. And I'm going to preface it by saying, and because I know Jonathan Levin, for example, who's one of our listeners, he and a practicing Jew, and he knows we are not anti-Semites, and he knows that we don't. This isn't something mocking that play for the sake of being a religious play. It's a stupid, awful play, even if it's not Howard Stern's fucking daughter.
Right. It's just some people saying some funny shit, as far as I'm concerned.
It was. And unfortunately, so I'm going to sit on that one to add a little context to it and make sure people understand it's not going to be one of those fucking hit pieces on the kids when we promised we wouldn't make fun of Howard's kids. This is us playing a clip of Opie and Anthony fucking on the daughter, and just like the audacity these two had to go after his kid on the air.
Right. Well, that's what we're doing, is chronicling like his history.
Yes.
You know, his spat with O&A and how they went at him.
Yeah.
This isn't us going at the daughter. This is them going at the daughter. And it's us showing you the history of why he hates them so much and why they hate him. It's fascinating that there was someone before us calling him out on his bullshit. And that's the part I absolutely love.
Yeah. And so the last clip, guys, is sorry. This is one solo guitar clip. Sorry, QFers, more Guitar Hero of the Stupid.
I just ordered some new picks, so pretty soon my playing will get even better. I'm sure the pick.
Oh, it was the picks.
The picks, yeah.
Do they look like almonds?
I picture jumbo kid size ones like Tinker Toy
I already-
plastic.
Yeah.
Some big stubbies.
I see.
There you go. This is on my new album.
You didn't mention Drunken Sailor. Yeah.
That track will be available.
God.
Poor Beth.
Hold on.
She's in hell.
Oh, look what I just found.
Almond picks. Look
Almond
at you.
picks. God, phenomenal. Anyway, guys, we hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a little shorter than the average breakdown, but we've given you some majorly long ones as well. Thank you, Raven, for clipping these, and God bless you. And James T, shout out to you. Thank you for clips you've done as well. We haven't forgotten you. We want to know you're doing okay. Any shout outs you'd like to give before we wrap this one up?
No, I'm good. I just want everyone out there to be happy and enjoy life.
And pick up a guitar, please. We want to see how well you do compared to Wiggy. And play. You can and Jimmy Page, keep riffing, dude. You put on some sound clips on Facebook sometimes. SoundCloud. Well, yeah,
right.
SoundCloud. Yeah, but he uploads the link to Facebook, and so keep it up, dude. Just practice makes perfect. If it don't make perfect, it makes passable, and passable's better than what Howard's doing right now.
Yes,
It's so
always
awful.
enjoy them. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, take care, guys. We love you.
Bye.
Artie.
Again, I don't want to lie to you
Artie.
guys, but it's not. That's just being honest, Rob.
Right, that's fine.
But the idea that you even are having sex at bachelor parties is
not intercourse.
Oh.
I've had
Other kinds of sex.
I've got 11 or 12 black chicks in my life,
Right.
and they've all been $20.
Are you able to get excited when you're with a hooker?
Oh God, yeah.
See?
Yeah, there's something even more. No,
You
well,
like
no,
that?
there's not. Wait, well, let me just get this. There's nothing more exciting than being with Dana.
Right.
Nothing on
Let
the
me
planet.
fix this.
Nothing on
A
the
good,
planet.
loving relationship, nothing beats it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Except
Feeling
every
close,
once in a while.
and the longer it goes on, the
Yeah.
closer you get,
And
the more special
the
it
more
is.
you get to talk to each other.
Yeah.